Well, I've been noticing the Canadian campaigns. I've seen that, but I'm not that much familiar about them. What I've seen that the Liberals again, the slogans are pretty similar, and it is almost the same slogan each party is having, that we will fight back. It is very strange times. I mean, we are in very strange times when you see that an election is happening in Canada based totally on anti-American sentiments. I mean, we have seen these elections being run in Afghanistan, Iraq, or other countries where US has invaded or have one way or another done the regime changes and all these things. Even in Pakistan, it happens like it's going to be anti-American slogans and all these things. Iran, but it is very strange that the elections in Canada, 2025 federal elections, are being promoted on anti-American sentiments. Wow! I mean, I would say, wow. No one would have ever imagined that they will see this time, but this is what is happening. The liberals are saying the same thing. We will fight back. We are going to reply Trump. We are going to. They are taking names, and we are going to do that. And if you see the conservatives, they are saying that we're going to take the northern waters. We're going to take all these things. We're going to fight back. And even the NDP. NDP is a very crucial party. Remember, whenever for the last three elections, if you see, NDP has been the driving force in making a coalition government. It is always a gap, it is not a big gap, it is always a small gap between liberals and conservatives, and that small gap is filled with NDP. And many people, they might are suggesting that the NDP has become more stronger, because if you remember the elections in Israel, there was a party having like 5, 6, 7 seats, and this party was instrumental. You can say they were the kingmakers, because the gap between Netanyahu and the other person was very less. And there came a time recently when this 8, 9 seat party candidate, I might be wrong, maybe like 15, 20 seats. Yeah, you're right, saying right, but I don't know. But still, it is like a very small minority party. The head of this party became the prime minister of Israel for some time. So you don't know what happens right now. If the gap is very small and NDP is instrumental in making the coalition party, they might ask for, they were the deputy prime minister. They might ask for the prime ministership also. So NDP is in a very strong position. NDP has stamped seats which they will win. So if there is a close fight between liberals and conservatives, Canada might see a prime minister coming in from a third party. This can happen. So let's see, these are very interesting elections in 2025 in Canada, the federal elections. And let's see, because everyone is right now anti-Trump, I am just thinking about the fact it is not practical that Canada and US will have this trade wars and all these wars for a longer period of time. It is not practical, to be honest. So I am seeing the time post the elections, because it is being fueled on so much anti-American sentiments. Once the elections are over, how the winning candidate, I mean, the losing candidate will keep on saying the same thing, that we're going to take on into US, and the ruling party is being soft on the US and blah blah blah, because I mean they will be in the opposition. But the winning party, whether liberals, whether conservative, how they are going to convince their people, convince the Canadians back that US is a friend. Because without having US as a friend, it is very difficult for Canada to move forward. I'm not saying it's impossible, but virtually it is very difficult to move on. It will take a lot of time. I mean, honestly speaking, they will build their own port, they will build their own military, they will buy their own equipment. I mean, again, from where? From Russia, maybe from China. China also have been angered by the tariff which Canada has imposed on them. And Russia is not a big player in the Canadian thing, because of Canada's support to the Ukraine conflict. So who else is going to do that? So let's see. I mean, what I'm saying, that I think the candidates should balance their tone, because right after election they will have to say that the winning, again I'm saying, the winning party, it can be liberal, it can be the conservative, but the winning party will have to shift the whole anti-US sentiments into pro-US sentiment, and it will be difficult for them to do that. to the voters and taking a complete 360-degree turn and going back to them. So they must balance it. But I can understand their problem right now. Donald Trump, he is pushing very hard, although the Canadians, the leadership is being calm and they are very watchful in what they are commenting. But they are left with no space when you are pushed to the wall. What can they do? Tariffs on tariffs on tariffs and pressure and 51 state thing and all these things. If they don't fight back, if they don't stand up to these things, what they're going to do? The voter is going to be angry. Of course, he's going to say that you didn't stand up for Canada. Why should we vote for you? So I understand their issue. Let's see what happens and let's see how things will move on in the federal election. I don't think there's going to be any change from the anti-US thing unless or until the elections are over. But my concern is once the elections are over, how are you going to step back and take the U-turn? So let's see what happens.